everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Anastasia, aka the Spiritual Goth, and hopefully I'm going to be looking at the camera during this. On my channel here, aside from my very silly, ridiculous personality, you will be introduced to lots of topics. So I do tarot. I'm a tarot reader. I read with tarot and oracle cards. If you haven't seen any of my pick a card readings, please check them out. You'll get a free tarot reading from me. It's a collective reading, but still. I have another video about my spirituality journey. So my whole goal with this channel is to help people understand spirituality and also develop their own sense of awakening, like their own awakening process. That's kind of my main goal and priority. So in understanding spirituality, you have to know all of the parts. You have to know the magical parts, the soul parts, the alien parts. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, starseeds. I will be telling you my starseed story, and if you resonate, you might be one too. At the end of the video, I'm going to give a collective reading that I actually got the other day, and I felt that I needed to share it with other starseeds. So stay tuned till the end for that collective reading. There's a message that we have, and they're coming from my family, but like I think that it's a collective all starseed type of thing. Okay, so if you are interested in any of the topics that I talked about, and I forgot to even mention the quantum physics part, there's just so much. I have so many ideas. Please like and subscribe. You can also check me out on Instagram at Thespiritualgoth. I'm pretty much the Spiritual Goth on everything except on Twitter. I am spiritual_goth. Let's get into it. Alright, so this video, I actually have my tea because I'm obsessed, if you hadn't noticed. Let's start from the beginning. So if you've been following me on my channel, then you know that I had my spiritual awakening about 6 months ago, which is like pretty recent. At the start of my spiritual journey, I honestly didn't know much about anything. I knew that we might have a soul. I knew that everything's made up of energy. It was kind of like I knew things, but I didn't know that I knew them, and I'll explain that a little bit later. I just needed to, like, at the beginning, once I kind of woke up, then I needed to learn everything. I was just like, I can't believe that I was missing all of these aspects of life, all of this information my entire life, and I spent my life super depressed and hating myself and just like ridiculously anxiety ridden, just like completely nihilistic. I was just not a happy camper. So once I started to get into spirituality, I joined a bunch of Facebook groups, learning how to do tarot and learning how to connect with my psychic abilities. So in one of the Facebook groups, there was a woman who was a Reiki healer, and she was like offering 3 Reiki sessions for free because I've gotten so much out of this group. And I was like, cool. So I said I wanted to do it, and when we psychics offer stuff like that, then we kind of picked the people that we're drawn to. So she chose me out of like the numerous people who were interested, and the session was just like, she said it was for her it's an irregular session because it doesn't the things that happen in my session don't normally happen to her. And that's not saying that they've never happened at all, but she was just saying that like one of my guides came to her and like told her that I was going to be financially successful because all I cared about was money. That's literally all I cared about. So she basically told me like, don't worry about your finances, and also she just told me like a lot of other stuff, like you are super, super gifted. You have the ability to open portals. Your third eye is blocked, but somehow like you're still so intuitive and you're so connected. And she was like, honestly, you're so powerful, is the word she used. You're so powerful that I think you might be a starseed. And I was like, what is that? So I decided to obviously look up a bunch of stuff about starseeds, and every time I tell someone about it, they go down the same rabbit hole that I went down. It's a rabbit hole. And she was like, well, basically a starseed is someone who comes to Earth. I actually don't remember what she said, but something about like someone who comes, she was like, look it up. It's someone who comes to Earth to like do something. They have a specific purpose. And so let me define starseed for you so that you, like my understanding of a starseed. As a starseed. So to me, to use a 3D term that we're familiar with that doesn't necessarily captivate the image of what I'm about to say, but like the concept is clear, I would say a starseed is an alien. There are multiple universes out there. We are ridiculous to think that we are the only universe. It's ridiculous. Like, there's no way that we are the only people in existence. It's just not true. So, starseeds are essentially aliens. Like, when you think about the word alien, what does it mean? It just means foreign, not from here. Starseeds are aliens who sign a contract to come to Earth in an effort to experience the human life, what it's like to be a human, and also to raise the vibrations of the collective. So each star family has their own different purposes or like missions, and let's just go over a couple of the star families so that you know what I'm talking about. So there are a couple of different starseeds that are pretty popular. There are the Palladian starseeds. They're pretty much known as like leaders and visionaries, and they are very like outgoing people who like to help everyone, and their goal and mission is to kind of be a leader in society and allow people to, I think, awaken and raise their vibrations. That's what the Palladians are about. The Arcturians, which that's my star family origin. The Arcturians are teachers, which is ironic because I'm actually a teacher by day. I teach middle school. So the Arcturians are teachers. They're not typically like making YouTube videos and in the limelight, but they're like, some of us have to be. Some of us have to be spreading the word. So Arcturians are very into like technology and science and really just getting to the figuring out how to teach these big concepts. So for me, learning about like quantum reality and quantum physics and the fifth dimension and all these other dimensions, I'm learning all this stuff so that I can teach you in a palpable manner, a way that is just in a way that is understandable. Because a lot of times people will talk about these concepts, but when you hear it, you're just like, what are they talking about? And that's kind of what I think a part of my purpose is, to help people awaken to their own spirituality, to allow them to ascend through ascension, like past the 3D mind, to allow them and encourage them to delve within themselves, to unlock the secrets that are inside of them. We all know so much. When I started learning all of this, it just started clicking for me. I was like, I don't know why, but it feels like I already knew that. And that's kind of what I aspire people to do through my coaching program, a little bit through my tarot readings even. So the Palladians actually make up so much of our population. So the Palladians exist within a fifth dimensional frequency where love and creativity are born. They kind of look like humans. They're very, their star cluster is known as the Seven Sisters. So If you hear that or like ever see that, then it's probably a synchronicity. We have the Syrians who come from Sirius, and I don't really know too much about this type of starseed, but that's a really popular one. We have the Arcturians, like me. It says that Arcturians exist in the 5th dimension and built a society that became the original prototype for how to live on Earth. Arcturians are emotionally and mentally advanced and were intended to be the spiritual shamans and healers for humanity. Some say that when human beings die, they pass through Arcturian energetic architecture in their journeys from death to rebirth. Like all 5th through 9th dimensional societies, Arcturus has the feeling of an angelic realm, yet it can be a helpful landing station for etheric forms, non-physical consciousness, and rebirthing souls to again become accustomed to a grounded physical reality. Arcturus is the brightest star in the constellation. Yeah. There's also the Andromedon from the Andromedon galaxy, and Orion. What are the other ones called? There's one called like the ones that look there's one that looks like cat people. I think it's Lyra. Yeah, anyway, so there's so many different types of starseeds. If you look up their characteristics, you kind of just see which one fits your personality and who you are. I honestly thought that I was a Palladian. I was like so sad. I was like, I resonate so much with the Palladians and all of this. I didn't know about the Arcturians though when I resonated with the Palladians. So I had known about the Arcturians, I had known about the Lyras, I had known about the Orion and Syrians, but I didn't know about the Arcturians. So when I did a higher self connection with this woman who is literally amazing, she's my mentor, named Natalie Ristard. She does higher self connections and she works a lot with star families. I did a session with her and she connected to my higher self, and all I wanted to know was what's my star what is my star family? Am I starseed? What's my star family's name? That's all I wanted to know. Am I a Palladian? And she's like, yes, you were definitely a starseed. You're an Arcturian. And I was like, what is that? So after our call, I looked up an Arcturian and I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe I thought I was a Palladian. Like, it talks about being a teacher, like I said. It talks about like learning a lot and being a leader, but a leader in an educational way. So I've really, really, really resonated with the Arcturians. And ever since I learned about them, I've been trying to connect with them. I know that they've been sending me like little bit of signs every now and then. I've had more interactions with them since like 2 months ago, but I'm still trying to foster that really strong connection. Actually, no, as I'm saying that, I feel like I'm getting like this download that's like, no, you're wrong, you are connected. I'm just like, I haven't seen them yet, so to me that's not like the strongest connection, but no, they're telling me like, no, we are connected, you are connected with us. So once I started to learn more about the Arcturians, I began to cultivate a relationship with them, meditating, asking for the Arcturians to send me synchronicities, asking for the Arcturians to guide me and help me out. And one day I spent time and I was like, I'm going to channel the Arcturians. So I got a notepad and a pencil and I put myself in a very meditative state and I just started writing. And what I got from that was like ridiculous. It just blew my mind and it honestly made me cry. I've actually channeled twice with them. Here's one. Yes, we have a message for you. You are a channeler and you are someone who has a great mission here on Earth. You have all of the tools that you need for the next steps to move forward. There has come a time when you are, it's really messy, becoming stronger in your connection with us. You will be a vessel of information for us. Tonight we would like to show you some information about the Arcturians. Oh wow. You have so much to learn and we want you to be well equipped to complete your mission, that of which has only just begun. I haven't read this since I wrote it, so this is wild. Us Arcturians have gone through quite a lot to get to where we are now. We are advanced and we watch the world fall apart, hoping that we can make it better with individuals like you. You are called to speak about the Arcturians. We want to teach you the history. You can share our story in hopes of helping others. I have chills and teary-eyed. Let me just say, like, I told you, I was super depressed. I would always tell people my entire life that I don't have a home. Because I was born in Germany, and then we just moved around so much. Like, I spent the majority of my life in California, aside from moving to New York for like 3 years. And people would ask me, where are you from? Like, where do you live? And I'd be like, I'm a nomad. I don't have a home. And so when I learned about starseeds and I looked them up, I remember this video on YouTube. It said 11 signs that you're a starseed. And it was like never feeling like you belonged here. Coming from like a family home that you needed to learn a lot from. Just like everything. I connected with every single thing. Having sleep paralysis my entire life, which I'll talk about another time. And so when I started to connect with the Arcturians, and when I felt a sense of home. Like, it felt like, that's because this is not where I come from. That's why I've always felt so empty and so lost. So that's why I feel so much happiness and fulfillment now, because I'm like, I signed up to be here. After college, like, I never wanted to be a teacher. It was so weird. Like, literally right after I graduated college in 2018, I graduated from the new school in creative writing and literature with a double minor in French and philosophy. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I literally just applied to USC's Master's in Teaching program, which has a really low acceptance rate, on a whim right after I graduated from my bachelor's degree, like literally weeks after. And I was like, I don't know, like, I didn't know I was going to become a teacher, because I was like, what am I going to do with this degree? So it was kind of like they were pushing me to like kind of get aligned with my purpose. And so now with like spirituality, and if it weren't for the pandemic, I wouldn't be here. Because I never slowed down. I never took a second to like deal with my stuff. And when I did deal with my stuff, I realized that spirituality was what I was missing. Just an in-depth look at myself and like who I am and what I'm doing here. Okay, so here's my second channeled message. I wrote, I can always have access to higher dimensional realms. There is a great deal of information for you to learn. It may not come in the form that you would think. This is one form of communication while you are here. You must know that your life has a purpose. You are awakening to this purpose quicker than we could have imagined. But this is excellent. You are a vessel for which we can communicate and spread hope through. Life on Earth does not have to be so desolate, so intolerable. Life can be so much more vibrant, and the key is really to let go of what things are supposed to look like. Your purpose is so much bigger than you, Anastasia. Your purpose is to allow us to spread our messages of love and communication through you. You are not only special among humankind, you are also special among our kind. It takes a strong soul to go to Earth and leave home to endure the human experience and spread love on that planet. Not all of us are cut out to do that. And you know how special you are as a human. You are one of a kind. Yeah. So the craziest thing, I was sitting on a balcony in Arizona. I got an Airbnb to myself, and I was like, I'm just gonna like go deep. I'm gonna like meditate hardcore. I'm going to connect and like shut off my phone and everything. So I did that, and I channeled that message while I was sitting on the balcony at night in Arizona, and there was a star in front of me the whole time I was sitting on that balcony, and I was like, man, that star is so bright. And then after I channeled the message, I have a star app because I'm obsessed with space. I looked at the sky, I looked at the star, and it was Arcturus. Mind you, every time I'm looking for Arcturus, I always have to like search for it. Like everywhere on my phone, I'm looking for it. And this time, I looked up and it was just right there. And I just bursted into tears and started crying. And even now I want to cry. Like that was just, they were just like, no, we're here. You're talking to us. Don't psych yourself out. Don't think that you're making this up. We are here with you. Chills. So yeah, that was intense. So that was like when I felt really connected with the Arcturians, and that was like 2 months ago. That was 2 months ago. So ever since then, I've kind of just been like getting intuitive hits, and then I started working with Natalie to connect more. And the Arcturians are like, you want way too much. You're very stubborn. You're asking for too much at once. Just wait. Everything's coming to you slowly. Because I'm like, no, I want to learn everything now. I want to travel to other dimensions now. And I'm just learning so much. Like the last session that I had with Natalie, I got a message from my Arcturian family, and they were like, you need to go back to step one. You need to learn how to meditate for a long time and quiet your mind. And I remember being so upset. I was so upset because I was like, so they're telling me I need to take steps backwards instead of moving forward. Like I thought I already had the meditation thing down. But then I realized that I needed to really learn how to be more mindful in my everyday life. I needed to learn how to sit and quiet my thoughts. And when I started doing that, really doing that, that's when I started accessing higher dimensions. And my level of consciousness has raised so much from doing this. And if you're interested in like a book that is scientific and talks about this, Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. In fact, I have it right here. Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Like his entire book is about teaching you, like marrying science and spirituality and kind of like scientifically explaining all of this stuff. Let me read it for you, the back. What would it mean to become supernatural? What if you could train your brain to tune into frequencies beyond our material world? Change your brain circuitry and chemistry to access transcendent levels of awareness and transform your biology to enable profound healing. This is one of the abilities that Dr. Dispenza offers in this. This is one of the abilities Dr. Joe Dispenza offers in this revolutionary book, a set of tools that allow ordinary people to reach extraordinary states of being. So it literally says it's about neuroscience, epigenetics, psychoneuroimmunology, neurocardiology, electromagnetism, quantum physics. Like, he talks about all of that to explain how we can access higher dimensions, how we can access higher frequencies, how all of this is even possible. Like, yeah, it's a really good book. So you can check out that book. There are also like a ton of other like videos on YouTube about it. The person who I would recommend the most is Antohai. That's Antojai. Antohai. So he is an ascended master who created, he basically like, he helps people to understand quantum physics in a very palpable way too. He's studied so much. He's been a shaman his entire life. He studied, because his whole family, they were all shamans. And yeah, so he's really good to look up. If you look him up on YouTube, there's so many videos about time and quantum reality, raising your consciousness to higher dimensions. All of that is going to be on my channel too, like in my own words, the way that I perceive it. But it's nice to also hear other people. I like to listen to like a couple of different people when I learn about this stuff. Anyway, so basically the Arcturians were telling me that I need to meditate, and when they meditate, they will be there to help me. So I started to meditate, listening to Tibetan music, or just listening to nothing, or sometimes guided meditations. And as I'm sitting there, literally I can feel someone adjusting my body, like putting my back like straighter, fixing my posture, fixing my arms where they need to go. Like, I can just feel someone is doing that, and I know that it's my guide because he said he would do it. That's what he told Natalie to tell me. So it's correct. And then the craziest thing is that, so Natalie tells me, okay, the Arcturians want you to meditate more. And I told you I was really upset, and I was like, why do they want me to take steps backwards? Should I not be even doing my spiritual coaching program? Should I not be doing all this stuff? I started to question myself. And then I go onto Instagram, and Quantum Cassie, with a K, she's another great social media influencer who is into all of this stuff. She posted on her story, she was like, guys, I have something funny to say, and it sounds really funny, but my Arcturian guides help me meditate because I don't like to meditate. So they literally sit me down for 5 minutes to meditate each day, and then at the end of that 5 minutes, they tell me time's up so that I can get up and go to get on with my day. And literally, my mouth just dropped. I was like, what? Like, that was basically the Arcturians' way of saying, Anastasia, you're not the only one. Like, look, even Cassie, who is like so much more advanced than I am, has to go back to the basics sometimes. And for them to send me that synchronicity, that message, and it was the same day after my meeting with Natalie that I saw Cassie's Instagram. I remember messaging her, like, sending her frantic voicemails like, I can't believe that, that's insane, this is validation, it's a sign from the Arcturians, they're using you to like give me a synchronicity. And she was just like, wow, it's so crazy. Yeah, after that, I just started to like, yeah, meditate with them more, and kind of just like ask for guidance a lot. And I know that they're always helping me. I know that they're always like around me, and it's pretty amazing because like I never feel like I'm alone. I never feel as though I'm kind of enduring this human experience alone, also because I know that there are other Starseeds out there. And like following Cassie is amazing because she works primarily with the Arcturians just like I do. So seeing her content is amazing because I'm like, well, obviously, like, I'm not crazy. Like, I know this all sounds crazy, but she's not crazy either. So also, like, having other people there who are Starseeds just like kind of validates that idea. Like, no, this isn't that weird. People just don't know about it. So yeah, that's pretty much my Starseed story. I am actually developing a program with the Arcturians. I know that they want me to do this, and I can't wait to put it out there, but I have so much to learn right now. So I'm going through like boot camp. Like I'm learning about like time traveling and higher consciousness and quantum physics. Like I need to learn all of that before I kind of get into this program even more than I want to. But Quantum Cassie, I actually noticed that she has a program that is kind of like what I had in my mind. I think she calls it like divine, so I don't know, something, it's something, but it teaches you about like time travel and all of that stuff. So in waiting for my program, you can maybe check out hers. I actually signed up for her program too, because it's great to see how other people explain things, and I love her energy. I'll put a link down below with her information. I just really connect with her. Yeah, that's pretty much my Starseed story. If you have any questions, please ask me. I'm totally available. If you are unsure whether or not you're a Starseed, I really think you would know it once you started looking and doing that deep dive. Because it was kind of like, I just knew it already. What a Starseed is, it's like a Starseed is a being from another dimension who comes to Earth to serve a purpose, and when they get to Earth, they have to endure the human experience, meaning they can't know that they're a Starseed. But the point and the hope is that they wake up to the fact that they are a Starseed. So I'm not sure if I woke up in my past life or in my other past lives, because in my past life kind of regression with Natalie, she said like there was a past life far, far back, and I was in Mongolia, and I was a little Mongolian girl looking at the stars, and I knew that I really loved the stars, but I didn't know why. So I think this is the lifetime where I've kind of woken up. So it could take a couple of lifetimes, but the point is, like, it's 2020. It's time for the Starseeds to wake up, and I've spotted so many Starseeds in my psychic readings and from my coaching course, and I think that that's a part of my mission. Like, I just know when someone's a Starseed. I think that Starseeds are waking up in 2020. I've seen so many things because December 21, there's a huge portal opening, and we're just waking up so that we can do what we set out to do initially. Honestly, Starseeds are the ones who feel the most lost and the most depressed because they feel so out of their body. They feel like they don't belong. So really, really, really consider looking into this concept. It's what's really helped me to find solace within my body, within my place on the universe. And I'm 26, and I'm like, I can't believe I didn't know my whole life, but I feel like this is also really young to find out. So I'm just really excited for the ride that I have with the Arcturians and dealing with other Starseeds too. Like, I intend to do the majority of my work with Starseeds, because it's important to find your purpose and what you're here for, and, you know, realize that you have a home and you have a family that is not even related to you. So it's pretty great. Thank you so much for watching this. If you've made it through the entire thing, I really appreciate you, and I've been wanting to do this video for a while. Hopefully it gave you some idea of what a Starseed is and allowed you to broaden your mind. Like, there's so much more than this three-dimensional plane. When you broaden your mind and kind of look a little bit further, then you will notice just how much we're kind of missing. Like, okay, my friend said the other day, he was like, the world is made up of so much dark matter and you can't see it. So think about all the other things you can't see. And yeah, once you just kind of broaden your mind a little bit, open up, then you'll just notice how much amazing discoveries are out there for you. And if you're looking for a tarot reading session, or you just need like a coaching session or like something and you just want to connect with me, find me on Instagram at Thespiritualgoth, or you can even go to my website, thespiritualgoth.com. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more, and again, I appreciate you. Love and light to you. Hey guys, so of course, after I filmed the video, I discovered star.seeded on Instagram because another girl did a Starseed origin ancestral reading with her, and so then I was like, I'm gonna do it right the next day after I filmed this. So I wanted to add to my story since now I have some new information. So earlier, all throughout the video, I talked about me being an Arcturian, Starseed. As it turns out, my Starseed origin is actually Orion, which makes sense because, as Starseeded was saying, there are so many people that come from Orion. So that's where my origin and the consciousness that I'm bringing into this reality that we're living in this lifetime is actually the vegan, literally pronounced vegan, and I was like, oh, that makes sense because I'm vegan. The Vega or Lyra, like from the Lyra system. So yeah, the Vegas are the people that she said that I actually am channeling in this lifetime. And as she was telling me all this, my third eye was like throbbing. I was just like, whoa, this is insane. And then I started doing research on the Vegas, and I was like, this is literally me. Like, I thought that the Arcturians were me, but the Vegas are like so much more me. I think that the Arcturians were supposed to help me a lot in this lifetime. I resonate a lot with them. And my guide is Arcturian, and I do still resonate so much with the Arcturians. I think that like they were like that they are like my kickoff point into this world and to all of this stuff. And now I kind of feel like I can start channeling Vega energy and Arcturian energy. And whenever I say that, I feel like my chest is like super warm. I feel like this is exactly where I'm supposed to head to. And it's insane. So here are the vegan characteristics. They are creative. They are basically what I was reading. A vegan sounded like a Sagittarius, and I'm a Sagittarius sun and a Sagittarius rising and an Aries moon. Like a vegan basically encompassed all of that. So it's like, okay, so like all of who I am, all of my signs, they're basically like a vegan. And that's like the one star family that I didn't really know much about because I was like, I don't really resonate with the Lyras. So it's super interesting to know that. So if you want to know more about your starseed origins, I would definitely reach out to star.seeded because it's really nice to know. Because like knowing where you come from and all of that, it just gives you like a sense of home, a sense of belonging. So knowing who your family is, like once it clicks and you kind of realize who your star family is, there's like this feeling of like love and compassion, and that's all I feel. And I still feel that for the Arcturians. I always will. I did an Arcturian meditation yesterday, and I just felt so much love and so much peace, and like, yeah, like they just did so much for me. So I hope that you found this to be helpful, this entire video. If you'd like to know about your own starseed origin, then message star.seeded on Instagram.